Welcome to CoreTV News on the Hour. I am Martin Dixon. The Senate has approved President Goodluck Jonathan's request for a $1 billion loan in order to fight insurgency, especially in the Northeast. However, many senators, especially from the All Progressives Congress, insist that the arrangement is not clean enough.
The request was first made in July, but it was not until September that federal lawmakers began considering it. By then, Boko Haram insurgents had taken over some towns and villages in northeast Nigeria. The Joint Senate Committee on Thursday turned in a report that showed that Nigeria does not have enough helicopter gunships to battle the insurgents. It added that no new helicopter was bought since 1998 and that the military hardware Nigeria desires are to be paid for over a 7-year period.
These findings, in our opinion, some of them also are of security implications, but members can read them. But may I say that the equipment hardware covers helicopters, ships, armaments, and other hardware equipment. Therefore, it covers both land and sea security. The recommendation, in view of the Joint Committee's findings, the terms and conditions of the loan agreement, and the urgent need to restore full normalcy in the country, the Joint Committee recommends that the Senate approve the external loan in kind of $1 billion to tackle the ongoing security challenges.
This elicited some protests from opposition senators who wanted due process followed, but they were overruled by the majority.
Mr. President, this request, to the best of my ability and with the assistance of this Constitution, has consequences for the existing Appropriation Act. We do not question the right of Mr. President to ask for money or ask to borrow money, but there is a process that needs to be followed. And the provision of the Constitution for this process is what I just read. Mr. President,
in appealing that we do not go into any debate on this matter. And I'm so worried because of the character of the debate. I don't want a situation where we leave these chambers and the public will believe that one political party is supporting a fight against insurgents and another political party is not supporting it. That is so. I don't want any place. Yes, that's what's happening here. So that is serious. That is a serious situation. If the debate,
the Senate unanimously approved the request, with Senate President David Mark providing the last word on the issue.
Those in favor that the Senate approves the external loan in kind of $1 billion to tackle the ongoing security challenges in the Northeast, say aye. Against, say nay. The ayes have it.
With the Senate's decision to approve the request, the Nigerian authorities now wait for the House of Representatives' position before sealing the $1 billion arms purchase deal.
Fear gripped the city of Ado-Ekiti as the State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal had its inaugural sitting. The unrest, which is believed to be a continuation of the siege on the Ado-Ekiti High Court, had counsels whisked away by the Commissioner of Police. Rashid has details.
Barely few days after the Ekiti State High Court was invaded by thugs, venue of the Ekiti State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal was disrupted by hoodlums suspected to be party supporters. The youths prevented movement on roads leading to the venue as early as 8 a.m. The chairman of the tribunal, Muhammad Surajo, admonished counsels to caution their clients on creating chaos as he ruled that all applications are to be consolidated for hearing with the governor-elect Ayo Fayose in attendance.
Filed a response and for an expeditious hearing we have stepped down our objections so that everything will be taken together with the substantive suit because of the time factor.
This is that we have fixed a day for hearing. The hearing will commence on the 14th, and I think we will do it and we'll be through immediately.
Okay, now prepare your team for.
We are ready. We are ready for it. We are ready for it.
Okay.
Thank you.
As the chairman rounded up the sitting, the atmosphere outside the venue became tensed. There were reports of alleged beating up of a judge. Counsels and judges apparently became subject of attack from the hoodlums, which caused panic.
Which is unfortunate. But violence is associated with all the political matters, but not for lawyers to attack. That's what we feel.
This is a political case. It comes with a lot of emotions. Once justice is done, everybody will be happy.
The presence of the Commissioner of Police here is evidence that he is on top of the security situation. We are going to assume that he will be able to sanitize the situation.
It took the combined efforts of the team led by the Commissioner of Police, Taiwo Lakano, and his lieutenants to rescue the lawyers and judges from the jaws of death as the mob stood nearby, resisting tear gas.
We tried to save the lives of the judges first. Nobody was injured. Everybody was taken out of court. The judge was protected, and we've sent them away. Our president led the team. We are taking the judges and lawyers out of town.
The case has been adjourned to October 14. The desperation of the youths or their principles needs to be checked to avoid crisis. Rashid, CoreTV News.
In what appears a tragic response to the unending invasion of court sessions by hoodlums suspected to be political party thugs, the Ekiti State Chief Judge has ordered the indefinite closure of all state high courts. Rashid again has details.
At the moment, it's under siege as thuggery appears to be the name on everybody's lips. The lingering political crisis rocking the state with a dent on the function of the judiciary appears far from over. The state government, through the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Wali Fakbonda, accused Governor-elect Ayo Fayoshe, who was present at the tribunal, for supervising the beating of the judge of the High Court, Justice Johnson Adeleye. The accusation was quickly dismissed by the Fayoshe group as an expensive joke.
Persons acting on the instruction of the governor-elect assaulted the state High Court judge, Justice Isaac Adeneye, within the court premises.
It is a blatant lie. It is a lie fabricated by the outgoing Kayode Fayemi administration and the APC, knowing fully that they have lost and they are on their way out.
Their alleged assault, according to the state government, is a desecration on Temple of Justice and untoward behavior from a governor-elect. The media aide to Fayoshe responded without batting an eyelid and added that Fayoshe is a peace-loving man.
Conduct bringing into the court premises machete welding thugs is not the kind of conduct that you either expect from the governor-elect or expect to see in a court of justice.
He did not see him quarreling with anybody. Even after he left the court premises, he did not branch at anywhere, but instead came to his office. And we are surprised when we were later confronted, when His Excellency was confronted with the allegation that he slapped Justice Adeyeye.
However, in a press statement, the Chief Judge of the state, Ayo Daramola, ordered the closure of all high courts in the state owing to the developing trend. The state government and Fayoshe also made issue out of this.
The president of the Nigerian Bar Association will be visiting Ekiti State next week, Tuesday, to have a first-hand view of the situation. I will also be advising the Chief Judge of Ekiti State to urgently take up this issue of the harassment of lawyers and judges with the National Judicial Council.
If If Justice Adeyeye can say that Fayose beat him or slapped him today, let them go and meet Justice Adeyeye. Chief Judge of the state has closed all the high courts in the state. Where? That is left for the Chief Judge.
Obviously, these are not the best of time in Ekiti State. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
In neighboring Osun, the State Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Osogbo has received the response of the Governor of Osun and winner of the August 9 governorship poll, Rauf Aregbesola. The PDP governorship candidate at the poll, Yola Emisore, is challenging the victory of Aregbesola at the tribunal. Rashid reports that Aregbesola, through his counsel, says he's confident of emerging victorious at the tribunal. The report.
The die is cast and the stage also set for the Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Osogbo to start full hearing on the petition filed by Iyola Omishore challenging the victory of Rauf Aregbesola at the August 9 governorship poll. The lead counsel for Aregbesola, Kunle Adegoke, says the legal team is ready to match the petition of Omishore word for word and page to page.
But today we are filing for Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola. There were allegations by the opposition to the effect that Ogbeni was avoiding service and he didn't want the tribunal to be able to hear their petition. But we have looked at the petition. There's no tiger in it. There's no lion in it. And Ogbeni is more than capable to defend the allegations therein. So we are here today filing the defense, and at the end of the day, we have amassed about 600 witnesses to counter their allegations who are already willing and able to defend the petition appropriately.
Principal witnesses like the Secretary to the Osun State Government and Commissioner for Women Affairs expressed optimism and confidence in the response of Aregbesola, adding that the election was free and fair.
And I was told the number of people that were accredited and they were counted after we've queued up, and the number of the people on the queue tallied with the one they've accredited in the voter. We did not engage in any malpractices to warrant the cancellation of the election. So we are optimistic that we are going to win.
We preach peace, and we wanted that we have a smooth election, contrary to what the opposition expected. So we're not going to give anything a chance. I stood there, I was there, and I ensured I voted. So if they check, they will know that I voted in one place, and I'm here. And of course, before then, we had done the work. The work for election is not done in just one day.
One of the victims of the alleged security harassment during the election, Fatai Diekola, says only APC has the moral right to challenge the August 9 election, not the PDP. He also affirms that victory is sure for Aregbesola.
Let's say I'm here to give solidarity to my people. And in view of the unusual government we have in the federation, because we must shine your face in this system, that's why there is nothing that is impossible in Nigeria now. We have a very clear and clean election in Osogbo local government and Olonda local government. If we are to complain at all, APC should be the party to complain.
Nigerians, particularly the people of Osun, are anxiously awaiting what next. Rashid, CoreTV News.
Adamawa State chapter of the People's Democratic Party has accused the opposition All Progressives Congress of planning to rig the forthcoming governorship by-election in the state. The declaration, which was made by the PDP state chairman, Joel Madaki, followed the observation by the party about the alleged reluctance of the APC to embark on political campaign. The ruling party claimed that the APC had instead engaged in campaigns of calumny against its candidate, Amadou Fintiri, who is also the state acting governor. The PDP state chairman says except the APC had something up its sleeves, which is possibly to rig the elections, it will not be hesitating to engage with the Adamawa electorate. He therefore called on the APC not to challenge the outcome of the polls when the verdict is out with frivolous petitions, since it had failed to engage with the electorate fairly. Barely 1 week after the People's Democratic Party adopted President Goodluck Jonathan as its sole candidate for the 2015 general elections, a pro-Jonathan group wants other parties to tow the same path. The Goodluck Initiative for Jonathan made this demand at a news conference in Abuja. The group says that Jonathan has done enough to deserve unanimous support from all registered political parties.
That we have gathered today to call on all political parties in Nigeria. We believe that if the president is doing well, we must support the president. This call is to every political party in Nigeria. We want them to sow the same seed the People's Democratic Party has shown, that President Goodluck Jonathan should be readily and easily adopted by all the political parties in Nigeria, because this will help in making sure that the huge resources that we've expended, especially with the primaries and the selection process and INEC, we can channel those resources to other pressing issues in Nigeria today. Because the moment every political party adopts President Goodluck Jonathan as the only candidate, I think Nigeria will begin to work as a peaceful nation once and for all, and the issues of sectionalism, religion will never come into our play again.
We'll be taking a short break and the news continues thereafter. Stay with us.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes, and bleeding from the eyes, ears, and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water, or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces, or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees, or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
A governorship aspirant on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, Seyi Makinde, has officially made known his intention to be the #1 citizen of Oyo State come 2015. Anita Fatunji was there and files in this report.
Present at the campaign rally are prominent members of the People's Democratic Party in Oyo State. The governorship hopeful Seyi Makinde says he was motivated by the passion to transform Oyo State into one of the leading states in Nigeria.
I want to chart a new future, a future of hope and brightness, a future of joy, a future of prosperity. And the time for a positive change is now. I therefore stand before you to announce my candidacy for the position of governor of Oyo State.
His supporters says Makinde is the right person to effect the change in Oyo State.
He can do more than that, more than expected. He can be the president of this nation. If he comes to be a governor, there will be a lot of changes in this state.
Majority of the residents spoken to says they need a governor that is not controversial, but one who understands the plight of the people. Anita Fatunji, CoreTV News, Ibadan.
Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation has in the last 25 years paid over 39 billion naira to Nigerians who lost money in failed banks. It also says about 81,000 verified depositors of 186 closed microfinance banks have received 2.7 billion naira as dividends. NDIC Managing Director Omaru Ibrahim presented the figures at a press briefing in Abuja to mark the corporation's 25th anniversary.
I have various figures pertaining to liquidation activities, the amount of deposits we paid for the various deposit money banks. I said today we have paid 6.8 billion to over 500,000 insured depositors of the 48 banks, deposit money banks in liquidation. We have also, as you know, have a set of 186 microfinance banks that were closed down about 3 years ago. We paid over 2.7 billion in respect of over 80,000 depositors of those microfinance banks. And currently, we are in the process of paying the depositors of the latest set of microfinance banks in liquidation. I think about 86 or thereabouts of them. Generally speaking, the problems we always encounter in payment of insured and uninsured deposits is the fact that depositors do not easily come forward to file their claims.
You're watching CoreTV News on the Hour. We'll take another break and we'll be back to continue.
Glad to have you join us on another edition of The Political Arena, the most detailed and incisive political show.
If you are a sitting governor and the opposition is able to stomach structure against you, that means you are wicked to the people.
They gave me 20 minutes to move or they will shoot me.
He has no chance for survival. If he likes himself, this is the best time to get out before he perishes.
The PDP as a ruling party has failed.
So anybody who thinks that government will fold his hands and allow miscreants to take over the streets of our own state and cause havoc is deceiving himself.
The good, bad, ugly, and beautiful sides of the Nigerian political system. Join me every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. on CoreTV News.
And outside Nigeria, the United States-led coalition against Islamic State has targeted 12 oil refineries in Syria on the third night of airstrikes against the militants. Activists say raids carried out by United States, Saudi, and United Arab Emirates aircraft killed 14 of the group's fighters and 5 civilians in eastern Syria. According to the Pentagon, the refineries generated up to $2 million per day in revenue for the militants. Back in advance, U.S. President Barack Obama has vowed to dismantle the IS network of death. And that's all we can take on this hour. Join us on top of the hour for more in-depth news and reports. I am Martin Stixon. To have a good day.